want to take up much of your time, but I do want to tell you the main reasons I am voting for Donald Trump. Number one, immigration. He mentioned it. And people like Laken Riley. I'll be thinking about her tomorrow all day. 22 years old, killed in Georgia, a young nursing student by an illegal. I'll be thinking about Jocelyn Nungare, 12 years old, in Texas, murdered by 2 Venezuelan illegals.
This is Megyn Kelly endorsing Donald Trump at his most recent rally in Pennsylvania, the crucial state. And I think you are going to want to listen to this. I feel like she really adds the most incredible female perspective, completely rips apart the idea that Donald Trump is a misogynist that women should hate. And I think that just coming from a woman, the heartfelt, loving way that she gives this speech, I think it is really quite something. Take a listen to this.
President Trump closed the border. Kamala Harris opened it by choice. It wasn't accidental. She said it would be humane. That's what she and her boss believed. Tell it to Laken Riley's family. There was nothing humane about it. He closed it. They opened it. It was an intentional choice, and there's no reason not to believe they won't do it again. The boys should not be in the girls' sports. The boys should not be in the girls' bathrooms. The boys should not be in the girls' locker rooms. Peyton McNabb, North Carolina sophomore in high school, slammed so hard in the face by a volleyball hit at her by a boy pretending to be a girl, she suffered traumatic brain injury and permanent paralysis. Kamala Harris looks at her and says, be kind, suck it up. And that's what's right. Why do our girls have to face brain damage in order to be kind to boys who want to invade their sports? And by the way, they are going into the women's prisons. She changed the law in California to make sure the taxpayers would pay for their sex change operations. She was not just following the law, she changed the law. President Trump will stop it.
I think she's just really showing how important it is that people go and vote for Donald Trump, and just really showing how hypocritical and insane the policies of the left are, and just exposing the fact that their policies are not caring at all. They are uncaring, and they are deeply, deeply damaging.
He got mocked by the left for saying he would be a protector of women. He will be a protector of women, and it's why I'm voting for him. He will close the border. He will keep the boys out of girls' sports and where they don't belong. And you know what else? One more thing. He will look out for our boys, too. Our forgotten boys and our forgotten men. Guys like you. Guys like these guys, who've got the calluses on their hands, who work for a living with the beards and the tats, who maybe have a beer after work and don't want to be judged by people like Oprah and Beyonce, who will never have to face the consequences of her disastrous economic policies. These guys will. He gets it.
I have to just say, the Trump will fix it signs do make me giggle. I'm sure the Americans don't get it, but I think as a Brit, it just looks a little bit too similar to Jim will fix it.
President Trump gets it. He will not look at our boys like they're second-class citizens. And ladies out there who want a bit of girl power in this election, let me tell you something. How can you win when the sons and the husbands and the brothers and the dads you love are losing? It's not a win. We care, young women and older, about the lives of our children, the safety of our children. And we need not get so obsessed with what happens when they're in the womb that we forget about taking care of them once we're here and they're loved. Last point, what I don't want, what I don't think you want, is the left's version of masculinity. You see that ad they did about Trump voters trying to encourage women to lie to their husbands so that they could vote for her instead of Trump? That's their version of what marriage looks like. An overbearing husband who bullies his wife into saying she voted one way as opposed to an honest, open relationship. Oh, wait, I'm talking about Kamala and Doug. Okay, sorry. Where was that story in the news? Where was that story? I don't remember a single media person, not one, who sat with him, asked him about the abuse allegations against him by a successful professional attorney who has great details, who has receipts, who has witnesses. No one even asked about it. I'm not into their version of toxic masculinity or new masculinity. I prefer the old version. Them, all of you, and I prefer a president who understands how to be strong and how to fight. I hope all of you do what I did last week. Vote Trump and get 10 friends to vote Trump too.
I mean, I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think, but I think that that was absolutely fantastic. And I think that that is going to resonate with a lot of women across America. Now, look, Megyn Kelly, she's not as big as Joe Rogan or Elon Musk, who have endorsed Donald Trump. But I think that, from a female perspective, I think that was really, really profound, because I feel like it's difficult for a guy to stand there and say Trump's not a misogynist, right? But for a woman to stand there and say he's not just a misogynist, but I'm voting for him because I think that he will protect women, especially when it comes to trans, when it comes to, you know, men being allowed to hurt women in female sports. I mean, we've just had the news come out with more information about the Algerian boxer who was able to take gold at the Olympics despite having XY chromosomes, male testicles inside of her, and the testosterone level of a man. That happened, and Megyn gave, you know, really, I think that she was great at really making that an emotional speech by bringing in really, really tragic examples of people who have been hurt by these so-called kind policies of the left, which really, really do not protect women in the slightest. So well done to Megyn Kelly for that speech. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. This, I think, is going to be another thing that, fingers crossed, turns the tide in Donald Trump's favour. Let's see what the election results say. I have all my fingers crossed because I think the world is going to be pretty doomed if Kamala gets in. Let's see what happens. I'm Chloe Dobbs. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the election. Is it going to be Trump or is it going to be Kamala? We will find out tomorrow.